So we will go ahead and get started with our presentation today. So like I said, today we are talking about renovation loans. So this is something that I think has been underutilized and it's a great way to get the attention of people, of past customers, of referral partners, especially referral partners. I think that this is a great way to get some appointments, get some meetings, and get in front of a bunch of realtors because this is something your competitors don't know about, they're scared of, and they're not out there talking about it. And it has some unique applications in the market. It will help you win business, help you get business. And we want you out there promoting that because that's what we do. So we're going to talk about man-made construction renovation loans. Not sure if you've heard this, but there still aren't that many homes out there for sale. So it's really hard for all the customers to find the house that they want in their price range that does all the stuff that they needed to do. So it's hard to find that. So sometimes you just got to build it. So sometimes you got to make the home you can get, turn it into your dream home. So renovation lending is here to help. So it's kind of at the junction or the intersection of a lot of different things. So we got location, we got price, and we got features. So if you got good location, the price is right, but the house isn't, it's missing the things that you need. Maybe it's old and it doesn't have like recessed lighting. It doesn't have the kitchen that they want. You can use renovations to add those features. So you can build it into the house. Maybe it doesn't have the smart home features that you want. There's a ton of things, outdoor kitchen, bunch of stuff that you can do in order to make this house that's where I like, the price I want, but turn it into the house I want. On features, it opens up new locations in many markets. So this lets you go outside of the normal comfort zone to get the house that you want. So maybe go to older, smaller homes in city center locations and you come up with the money to help expand it. Or you get newer homes out in the burbs, but maybe they don't have everything that you want. You have the option to buy and add that on or fix it up. So you can get the older houses. It seems like every city that you go to, they have a section in town where it's cool older houses in like a city center. But the problem is it doesn't have all the new features you want, or it has low ceilings with hanging ceiling fans and all that stuff that makes it seem so much smaller. Put in the recessed lighting, add the extra stuff, remodel the kitchen, add special features, make a nicer office, do different things like that you can do, add that stuff in. Or you can buy the worst house in the best neighborhood and fix it up. So it opens up a lot of different possibilities that aren't available on just buying a house and hoping it's exactly the right thing you want. Plus, it's like buy it and build it into what you want instead of buying multiple houses. So we can talk about why is renovation cool? Well, it's cool because borrowers like it. It gives them the opportunity to get the house that they want and get it fixed up, get it exactly the way they want it to do. It's a way to differentiate yourself both in terms of knowledge, where you know something that other people aren't talking about, which can get them into your office. So you can draw all the numbers up on a marker board. You can do things like that as getting them into your office because, every study you see shows that the first person to get an application, the first person to sit down with the borrower generally gets the loan. It opens up new marketing opportunities. So you can go to current agents, go to their offices, do speeches, meet their coworkers, and talk about this new thing that other people haven't talked about. You can also reach out to contractors. So contractors are going to be looking for new business. They're going to be looking for different things, so they need money for it. So you're the way that they can get the money for the ideas that they have. So it can be contractors, home improvement stores, different places like that. New agents, so people that are brand new to the business, they haven't heard of this stuff. So it's a new way for them to get out there, talk about new things, and be unique, be experts. Listings that have been sitting. So this is another thing. So you could ask, if you have a realtor relationship, you can ask them to pull up lists of homes that have been on the market for, especially in, with the way things have been, the house is sitting on the market for 120 days. There's probably a reason for it. So if it's been sitting for a long time, you can look at that. If it has something to do with the condition, get with them and talk to them about maybe drawing up or showing some hanging on the wall, just hang up on the wall, some pictures, some renderings of things that they could do with this space to make it nicer, and then the renovation loan options to help them do it. It also gives you a reason to reach out to your old clients. So they bought houses for you in the past. They have equity. They might want to fix them up. So it gives you a reason other than just, got anything for me? Got anything for me? Got anything for me? Got any referrals? Got any referrals? So it's another reason that you have to call them up and actually talk to them about something with value. I'll give you a hint. There might be some information coming out this later on. Many people now, a lot of times people's situations have changed. So many people are permanent work from home now. So if they bought a house at 18 or 19, they might not have been planning on having to be a permanent work from home. So now they can buy it, they can pimp it out and make their office a lot nicer than they had it before, make it more conducive to work. Or maybe they want a way better kitchen because they're cooking food for themselves every day when they're at home. So they've had lots of appreciation in most of our markets the last couple of years. So they have the money in the home to be able to do it. So plus it's science. It's just science. Science shows that if you want to double your sales, talk to twice as many people. This gives you the opportunity to do it. Gives you something unique to talk about when you're talking to clients or talking to agents. So like I said, talking to new agents. This is something that can help you meet new agents. So you can look for listings, pull up needs TLC, outdated, sold as is, fixer upper, needs love. Look for the houses that are sitting on the market and then call up the agent that's doing the listing and be like, I got an idea that can help you move these products to help you get these things going. So that's something that will be that's there for you to be able to do that. So houses sitting on the market or the ones that need love might say, okay, can't do FHA financing. So it's a way to meet those agents and come with new ideas. Plus, you're meeting contractors. So contractors, do you always have funds for the projects that you bid out? Are you always paid in a timely fashion for your work? Do you offer financing? Are you licensed? So you have these questions and you can look them up on things like House, Home Advisor, Angie's List, Google, Yellow Pages. You can find these contractors out there, and it's a way to help them, like I said, make sure they always get paid because they might not always get paid in a timely manner from the home buyers when they're paying cash. But if they're working through us, they're working through man-made, they're going to get paid. They know they're going to get paid. The money's set aside. The money is there. It's not just taking the borrower's word for it and things like that. So you have that opportunity to hit them up, and now they can offer financing for their products. So a couple of articles recently. So survey finds that nearly 70% of millennial home buyers have a renovation budget of $25,000 or more, and close to half say they will spend $50,000 or more. Competitive market leaves millennials facing renovations more than anticipated. Total home buyer equity has nearly doubled in the last 5 years. So there's a bunch of equity. 2020 professionals and in-home reservations reported a 58% increase in requests from homeowners for extension 52 want home additions, so adding on to the house. So being home a lot more from COVID and different things of work from home has definitely increased the want for improvements on their house. Top outdoor renovations. So you can do things like landscaping, window replacement, painting, siding, outdoor kitchen, pool, fence replacement, roof repair. Top pandemic improvements, adding an accessory dwelling unit. So moving in a family member, adding on extra space, man cave, she sheds, fencing, roofing, painting, pools, all that stuff. So there's a lot of different options you can go with for doing this.
And now that we know the why of renovation lending, we need to know the how of renovation lending. So in terms of this renovation lending, there are 4 programs that you really must know about and must understand to make it work. And this is what makes it happen. So these are your primary programs for renovation lending. So we'll start off with the 203K Limited because it's the one that has the least amount of because it's the most simple one to use. On the 203K Limited, you can go up to 96.5% on a purchase, 97.75% on the refi. Now, on these 203Ks, you can go up to 96.5% on the purchase, but it is the lesser of 96.5% of the acquisition cost or 110% of future value. So we're going to correct this typo right here. So you can actually go up to your basis for determining your LTV is actually the lesser of total acquisition cost, which is the cost to acquire the property plus improvements plus closing costs, or 110% of future value. So you can go up to 96.5% LTV on a purchase, 97.75% on a refi. LTV is based on the as complete value. So that's one of the big things about renovation lending is it isn't just based off of the purchase price of the home that they're buying. It's based off of the total project cost down the road. On the 203K Limited, it is limited, it's in the name, to $35,000 total renovation budget. It's a minimum of $5,000, but a maximum of $35,000. It is for cosmetic repairs only, nothing structural. There is no 203K inspection on this, so you don't have to have an inspector come out and inspect the property or anything like that. It is an FHA underwrite, and it is a 640 score. But the big thing is makes it simple for people to do things where if most of the work is going to be done by, say, Home Depot, Lowe's, one contractor, things like that. You can just get away with using bids from, Lowe's, from Home Depot, or something like that, instead of needing a full contractor, and there is no 203K inspection. Next step up, next more invasive, is the full 203K. This is an FHA program, like we said, goes up to 96.5% on the purchase, 97.75% on a refi. But like I said, this is based off of the lesser of total acquisition costs, which is loan payoff, improvements, closing costs, or 110% of the future value. So like I said, it is based off of as complete value. You can go up to the FHA limits, minimum of $5,000. So you could have a $50,000 renovation budget on this, $75,000, stuff like that. You do a lot of cool stuff. It's just basically anything that can be attached to the property you can do as part of this. You will need to get a 203K inspection, which is about an extra $500 cost or something like that, I think, usually. Don't quote me on that. But you do have to get that extra inspection on that. And once again, it is a 640 score. Next up is the Fannie Mae product. So this is Fannie Mae Home Style, or Freddie Mac's side is the Choice Renovation product. They're both basically the same products, but sometimes one of them will have a little bit of a cost advantage in terms of rates. Max renovation budget on this is up to 75% of the purchase price plus renovation cost of the as complete value, or 75% of the as complete on refi. So you can do some pretty extensive stuff on this. With this, you can do a lot of cool stuff. You can even add accessory dwelling units, add stuff on. Basically, their rule is does it add value? Is it permanently affixed? Then yeah, you can do it. This is a conventional underwrite and goes up to a 680 credit score. Then the final one is for jumbos, and this is something you should definitely be promoting, because very few places are doing this. When you talk about jumbo renovation to other lenders or people, they just look at you like, what? So it is something that you have available to you. Flagstar Broker will go up to 85% LTV to $1 million, 80% to $2 million, and 75% to $3 million. That's on a primary residence, and they will do second homes. Second homes will be 80% to $1.5 million and 75% to $2 million. They'll do 80% to $1.5 million with a 680 score, and they're okay with teardowns. So this is a big thing that you can help promote that will get you attention with realtors when you're setting up appointments to talk about this or do presentations, is the fact that you can take somebody that has already a luxurious home that they want to upgrade and move into and make it better, add stuff onto, add things. You have that stuff. The other thing is tear down. So if it's something that's, completely gutted, or it's even a, half complete done job, I think Flagstar will take those as well. So it really opens up the market. So you have a lot of different options on that. The main two that you want to pay attention to are the 203K and the home style. That's going to be a bulk of them, because they allow you to do the most stuff, allow the more projects and better improvements with the least amount of rules as far as things you can do and stuff like that, and get some really good loans on that.
So for documentation on these, just need standard income and asset documentations. Then you send the project docs to manmade@manmortgage.com. Completed construction questionnaire, contractor's license. You don't need that on the 203K limited. Scope of work or the write-up for being done, evidence of liability, and then the bids and quotes. Now, these can be from Home Depot, Lowe's, things like that. So you got to coach the borrower to ask the GC to send the above when they send their quote. Do it all at once, get it all at once. When the GC is trying to get their business, they're going to be much more likely to be cooperative on these things. So they're going to be, when they're trying to earn it, is just get that stuff, ask for all that stuff up front, because when they're trying to earn the business from the customer, that's when they're going to be the most responsive. Now, there is a little bit of extra tricks for entering these files in Encompass. And we have training up in the product training section of our Man Academy. So you can go into the Coop, go to product training, construction training. There's some training in there of how you can encompass the Encompass job aid contained in the brand new, great, awesome, phenomenal, amazing, groundbreaking, earth-shattering, inspirational, critical acclaim, informative, profitable, New York Times best-selling, entertaining, mind-blowing construction training, all up there in the knowledge Coop. So the big thing is we got to go do it. So big thing, you learn construction and renovation, help people build their dream house, meet more referral partners. You make the money to get your own dream house. So like I said, if you have any questions, you email manmade@manmortgage.com. But I'm going to go in and let's share a different screen because we have some more information for you today. So a big thing of trying to help find the right program. If you were on some of our previous calls, you know that we have created the Manny map up here on the powerful capital market secondary marketing webpage. So you're going to come on here on the internet. You have the Manny map, and you'll notice that there is a brand new addition to the Manny map, which is a button that goes to renovation lending. So here is a renovation flow chart to help you find the right program. If it's less than or equal to 35,000, is it less than or equal to the FHA limit? If it's not, you're going to home style. Are the repairs structural? If they are, home style. Otherwise, you have the 203 limited in the home style. If the repairs are greater than 35,000, we're going to ask kind of the same questions. You're going to come through. But if it is greater than the FHA limit, you ask what is the loan amount. Greater than the conforming limit, you're looking at Flagstar on the broker side and Normandy on the broker side. If it's less than the conforming limit, you're probably going to want to go home style. So if it falls into this where it's FHA limited or home style, you have the option. So you can look at your borrower, you can look at their situation and see which one has the best price, the best cost, because on the FHAs, as always, you have that upfront mortgage insurance premium that's there to, secure the borrower, secure the fund, but it is a cost to the borrower. So you get to weigh that stuff out, talk to them about their different options and show them their different options. Like I said, anytime you're in this, you can click on that to come back to the home page. As we talked about on previous calls, is you have a bunch of different maps. So you can click on these and it's going to give you a lot of different flow charts to help you find the right resources and the right programs to get you to the right place to help find your product. So like I said, this is my most recent effort to make myself irrelevant. This comes through and does a lot of the stuff. So it helps walk you through. But the other thing that we have is we wanted to build tools to help you be able to run numbers and speak to people in an effective manner. So this will be posted up. I'll send it over to the Man-Made crew.
And because we work at Man Mortgage and one of our core values is ease of doing business, we've built this handy dandy spreadsheet that's going to be up on secondary SharePoint, and it's here to make running numbers on these renovation loans with your customers and your realtors, make it easy peasy lemon squeezy. So we'll run through kind of how this works, and this is available for you to use as a tool. So the first question is going to ask, are you purchasing the home as part of this transaction? So let's say yes. Okay, what's the purchase price? $250,000. How much are the renovations? $50,000. Say closing costs are $7,500. And what will the home be worth once all these improvements are done to it? So let's say it'd be worth $325,000. Now, are there repairs structural in nature? We're going to say yes. We're going to move tear open some walls. We're going to do some things like that. So we're going to say yes, it's structural in nature. So next we're going to come over here. So we have the 4 basic options down here at the bottom that you can run through and see the different options on. Now this is a purchase. So we know on an FHA, which are the orange options, that you can go up to 96.5% of the lesser of total acquisition cost, the purple number, or 110% of future value. So that means we can, on this case, the 110% of future value would be like $360,000. Your total acquisition cost is $307,500. So your maximum loan amount would be $296,773 because that is 96.5% of $307,500, making your loan amount $296,000, which means the total funds needed to close from the borrower would be about $10,762 in this scenario. Although we do have this little error message up here that says not this program. And that's because on a 203K limited program, the maximum improvements would be $35,000. So if we change this to $34,000, well, we still have an error because it's structural in nature. So we would have to make that no. So now it becomes available. But it is structural in nature. In this example, we have a $50,000 renovation budget. So that means the total amount, they need $10,762 to close. You can put in your interest rate numbers here, but you would have to come up top and put in something for the, let's say $8,000 for the upfront mortgage insurance premium. So you'd have to factor that in. And then you can come through and it would basically give you the options on this of put in interest rates. You can put in the mortgage insurance payment and calculate a rough mortgage payment number. But it's going to show you the FHA numbers. So your 203K is fine because 50,000 and structural is fine for the 203K. Home style is an option. So this is something where you can look at the rest of their file and figure out rate wise if it works out better to do a home style renovation. They're going to have to bring a little bit more to closing. But if it ends up making their payment lower and they have it, it might be a valid option, but it's not a jumbo loan. So that won't work here. So we won't do a jumbo loan. So let's say we run another scenario, say we're buying for $350,000 and we're going to do $200,000 worth of renovations. Oops, not 20,000, 200. And then the house, once it's done, will be worth $600,000. So that's going to be renovation. So it's going to show you the new numbers, total funds needed. 60,000. Geez, my fingers don't work today. So it shows you the numbers. It'll come through this stuff. And now once you start getting into these higher loan amounts, you can click on here and it'll say check county limits. So you can click right here on this HTTPS and it'll open up the website on the FHA where you can look up the county limits in the county you're dealing with. You also have this extra resource down here. When you click on that button, it's going to open up a SharePoint page that's going to tell you what repairs are eligible on FHA limited, what are available and what are not. So you have some options there. Anything that doesn't fit those guides, you would need to go to the home style or choice renovation page. But this one, so it'll show you that stuff and it'll run through and it will show you your total estimated funds need to close. You got the little arrow here thing that says check your county limits to see if it meets your county limits. But then you also have the other option. So let's flip it over to, it's a refi. We're going to pay off a loan of $1 million. We're going to do $350,000 worth of renovations. Maybe they're adding an extra unit to it to make that work. And then once it's done, it's worth $1.8 million. So now you're going to see loan amounts don't work. It says check county limits. Loan amount is too high for choice renovation. So we have jumbo renovation, which goes up to 80% LTV. You see 85% to $1 million. So our loans over that, 80% to $2 million, 75%. So we'd be at 80% LTV. You can change this around for that. And total funds needed to close because we can go 80% of future value on a refi. Our total max loan is $1.4 million. So they could actually add some more renovations in there if they were wanting to and still not have to bring money to closing. And then you can put in whatever the interest rate is to quote their payments for it. So it gives you a lot of different options. So you can come through, play with this, add the numbers, play around with stuff. You can see the total max loans, give them advice. Well, you can pull some more money if you needed other stuff. There's room to do these things. And it's available for you to, like I said, up on secondary SharePoint to help you run these numbers to see what works and see what works the best for you. And like I said, it's about showing the customer different options. And it doesn't matter to me which option they choose as long as they choose one of my options.
That's there to help out. So I'll open it up a little bit to, I'll open it up to you to be able to, if you have questions or anything. Let's see, we have they updated renovation training? Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty well up to date. So if the first lien is crazy low, like 2.5%, is there a tool for blended rate to compare? No, we'd have to pretty much just draw that up in like Excel or something like that. Email Lars. I think he was making a tool for that at one point. I don't know if he got it done, but we were working on a blended rate calculator that helps do that kind of stuff. But the other thing to keep in mind is that prime rate is changing a lot. So even a second, that's going to have its downside because their rates could change a lot when prime rate changes and Fed does their stuff. I mean, they're meeting now for their meeting tomorrow or for their announcement tomorrow. So that's where, renovation comes into play is, I mean, prime rates, prime plus are going to get high. So, a lot of this stuff is going to come to play. So you can show them that different stuff. We just have to do it on that. So, yeah, so this is a big thing. So like I said, there are a lot of things. So we talked about this is a great way to meet some new referral partners. Hopefully everybody uses these tools, this PowerPoint, and uses a lot of this stuff to go out and book appointments. I know that some of our branches have had great success in getting realtors to come to their office in order to talk about these type of things. Plus, there is the opportunity to reach back out to our old customers. So this is a great way to go back through our pipeline. And over the last couple of days, I actually pulled a bunch of leads out of our old pipelines and sent them out. So they'll be going out to your branch managers here real soon. So if you are interested in getting some more loans and you're willing to pick up the phone and make some calls, send some emails and contact some people, I'd highly encourage you in about 3 minutes to reach out to your branch manager and say, hey, I'm willing to work today. I want to get some loans. Do you have anybody I can talk to about renovation lending? I have a hunch that they're going to have some names for you to call here in 2.5 minutes or so. So that will definitely work. These loans are out there. It's underutilized. You're never going to lose one of these to somebody in a call center by Loan Depot or Rocket over a quarter point because they're not doing this stuff and they're not willing to do that. And we got a message from the mortgage queen. Any of you that are nervous to jump in this program, don't be. Get with those of us that love it and let us light the fire. Is a killer way to get new agents. Great input, Deb. And she's definitely an authority to watch, listen to, and learn from. The fact that she's willing to offer so much of her time in order to help out with this, it is definitely there to help out and do that type of stuff. Is available on manufactured homes. So it's anything that's Fannie eligible, FHA eligible, you can do the renovation loans on. So that is available to you. Just have to double check and make sure that the people working on it know how to work on manufactured homes and everything like that. So yeah, if Deb's offering that, definitely hit her up because she is an expert on these types of things and it is a great one. 3 suggestions from your sales coach. Host renovation seminars and webinars. Absolutely. Organize these informative seminars. Excellent point. 100% correct. Partner with local businesses. Establish partnerships with local real estate agents, contractors, home improvement stores. Consider co-branding materials to leverage their client base. Conduct local community events. Sponsor and participate in local community events. Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of this stuff. So make sure you're looking out. And this is something where you're going to be the only one standing on the stage talking about this stuff. And I know, I don't know if he's on, I don't know if Michael's on the call, but I like Michael Barnes here in the Arizona market. He actually made up some tape measures that have his logo on it. So that's a great way to bring in the marketing on theme with this renovation stuff. So the struggle in our market seems to be getting bids plus contractor lined up on the timelines for closing and stuff. Yeah, that is definitely one of the challenges on it. So that's where it's isolating it early and making is isolating and deciding you're going to do this early, getting the borrowers pre-approved for these things, bringing up the concept in the pre-approval thing. So if it's on lockbox, you can get in. So if you're coming in and checking it, okay, we want to make an offer on this house. While they're working up the offer, come back with the contractor. Be looking for the contractors. If they're not finding the homes that they want, that's where it's, don't wait until you're at that late hour to talk about renovation. Talk about it as an option right away up front. So they're thinking about this. And if you hear, hey, we might have to do renovation, then talk about it a little bit more. But while it's still on lockbox and people can come in and out, you can bring in the contractor, get the bids going right away, get those things going so that you can structure it right away. So the big thing with that on purchases is having this as a tool that you talk about right away up front as part of it. It's also a great way to be an expert, to show, because there's a thing called the halo effect. So when you talk about something they don't know about, even if you don't, by talking to them as an expert about the renovation program, you seem smarter. So that halo effect of your knowledge and your professionalism and your being an expert will also make you seem like an expert on the other things you're talking about, because you're just overall more knowledgeable. So that's the big thing I say is on purchases is just making sure to talk about it up front. And then as soon as they say, okay, we like this house, I think we're going to need to do renovation. As soon as that thought comes out of their head, okay, be getting somebody out there to do that stuff. If it's minor renovations, you can just get bids from Home Depot, from Lowe's and things like that, and you can put that stuff in there. So that can be fairly quick with it. But yeah, there is a timeline aspect of it. But then again, we're seeing softening in the market. So if people are willing to pay a couple of points, then doing maybe a 45-day close of escrow, that's not, I don't think that's out of the range. Maybe put down a little bit more escrow. So that gives a little more time. But yeah, you'll definitely have to be kind of snappy on it a little bit more. So, or as like the day after the contract is accepted, is have contractors coming in and making the bids. And then, okay, everybody on man-made, cover your ears. If you get a bid from a contractor and you have to switch contractors mid-flow, we don't want to do that. But right now, we got to do what we got to do. So if you get the bid from the first contractor and you flip to one that's cheaper, as long as you're not doing it right before closing, I mean, we just got to kind of understand that. But yeah, is just you got to be a little more proactive on these on a purchase. So you're right about that. Is there are timelines and things like that. But like I said, this is a lot of times for the homes that maybe aren't moving. So 45-day close of escrow versus 30. Yeah, your realtor might be a little bit annoyed because they don't get paid as fast, but they also don't have to truck them around town to show them 30 new houses because they can't find anything that's exactly right. So they'll save them some money on gas at least. So big shout out to Vanessa Rez, she has on her own created the construction loan support group that is meeting today. Excellent, great teamwork, great we attitude there from Vanessa Rez of scheduling this call all on her own to get everybody together to share ideas of how to be more productive and be more successful with man-made construction. So that's awesome. It's every third Tuesday of the month at 2 p.m. Guessing that's Pacific time because that's where Vanessa is. So big giant shout out to her for doing that. And that's a great resource where everybody shares their knowledge and experience, which I think is fairly unique to Man Mortgage, of other coworkers coming in and sharing the things that make them successful because we don't see each other as competition. So that's awesome. So I'll open it up. I'll stick around to ask any other questions, but you can always hit me up at product@manmortgage.com. Like I said, we'll get this spreadsheet put up on Man-Made Construction. And like I said, if you have any questions, whatever it takes to be successful, let's go Man Mortgage.